Hello, this is my first quote-unquote tutorial for Dolly makeup. I put up the inspo throughout the video. I'll be looking up to try and follow it as close as possible, but right now I'm just applying the Sheglam primer, color correcting primer, and then I go into doing my brows, brushing them, and then I fill them in with the Canmake brow palette, something like that. I'm not sure what it's called. And then I forgot to put lenses, so I put them on now. I look like an alien, but trust the process. Then I put some blush. All the products, I'll try to list all of them because right now I don't remember them from the top of my head, but I put a purple blush, and then I mix my concealer with the color correcting because I have horrible dark circles. Even though they don't seem as prominent in the video, they are. And I try to also color correct in areas where I have a bit of discoloration, so my eyelid and around my nose and mouth. I go in with the Milk Skin Tint. Since I'm not going out, I usually opt for this for pictures and things, and then I blend it all in with a little sponge. I also added concealer that I didn't record for some reason. Then I go in with Canmake powder, and now we're contouring with a Judy doll dupe that I got years ago. So yeah, this isn't necessarily that detailed, so I'm really sorry, but I do do the crease of my eye and also my nose. I go in again with the Canmake contour slash bronzer and put it around the edges of my face. And then I go in with the Dasique blush. I use two of their palettes. It's the orange and then the pink one. I use both palettes with the pinkish shades on there. And then we go in with more powder, but this is loose powder now. And then I bake around my nose. And this is some random palette that I found online. And I use a lot of the grays and whites for the eyeshadow that's on the doll. I don't really remember what I was doing, but I bring down the eyeshadow to my lower eyelid, and then I use an angled brush to deepen my crease. Just because I feel like when it comes to dolls, they have a lot more depth around their eyes, so I kind of try to mimic that as best as I could, but I'm still fairly new to eyeshadow and wanting to make more creative eyeshadow looks, so please trust the process. I feel like at the end it looks somewhat better. So I'm just wiping off the loose powder now. Now I go in with a pencil liner to line my eye and tight line around my eye. I would say this part is my least favorite part, especially when I'm wearing contacts, because it really irritates my eye. But yeah, I bring the tight lining a little thicker around the ends, and then I tried to do the liner on camera, but I was getting too anxious, so I just filmed it off camera. But you can somewhat see how I did the liner in these angles. And then I go in with a brush with some black and try to darken my under eye a bit more. And then I do my ageosa with a bit of a darker shadow, and then I do the corners of my mouth, kind of like the Joker, but obviously not as dramatic. So I use a white eyeshadow to highlight my inner corner and make it more brighter, and then I go in with a white pencil liner to really tight line there, similar to the doll's makeup. And then I use a lighter eyeshadow to put in the middle of my aguasal and on my nose. So I keep referring to the eye fat as the aguasal, but I'm not sure if that's the right term for that. I just refer it as that because of other videos I've seen. And then I put lashes. I do like to overlay my lips with eyeshadow. And then when it came to the lip color, it was really hard. I was combining so many of my lipsticks to try to figure out the best shade that matched the picture, which I ended up putting just eyeshadow to try to mimic it. So that's what I ended up doing, and that's why I have this. But I think towards the end it kind of came together and was the best option I could have. Can't forget to add gloss, specifically the REM Glossy Lip Gloss. I don't really know what it's called, but yep, especially because eyeshadow makes your lips a lot more dry. So on this part, I was using a highlighting pressed powder to really to just make myself look more full in my face and not as flat. I can't really give much explanations to the things I do. Aim for whatever looks good on camera. Now I'm going in with a glitter highlighter. Put it around my cheeks, nose, and obviously in the aguasal. And now we're pretty much done. So yeah. Filming this was a little nerve-wracking, but the finished look made me pretty happy. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.